A woman has been dead for 7 years. She is lying in a bed in a house in Key West. She is wearing a silk dress. Her hair has been arranged. Glass eyes have been set into her skull. Her skin is wax and plaster. Her bones are held together with piano wire and coat hangers. The man who put her there visits every night. He plays the organ for her. He dances with her in front of an open window. And the neighbors know. Carl Tanzler arrived in Key West in 1926. He was German-born, nearly 50, and carried a title he had given himself, Count Carl von Cosel. He was not a count. He was not a doctor. He was a radiology technician at the United States Marine Hospital, operating X-ray equipment in a tropical outpost where tuberculosis moved through the population like rain through a screen door. He claimed that as a child in Germany, a dead ancestor, a countess, had appeared to him in visions. She showed him the face of the woman he was destined to love. Dark hair, dark eyes, a face he would spend his life looking for. On April 22, 1930, Elena Milagro de Hoyos walked into the Marine Hospital for a tuberculosis examination. She was 20 years old, Cuban-American. She had dark hair and dark eyes. Tanzler drew her blood. He ran the X-ray, and he decided she was the woman from the vision. Elena was not interested because she was also dying. Over the next 18 months, Tanzler makes himself indispensable to the Hoyos family. He brings medical equipment to Elena's home, X-ray machines, electrical devices, homemade remedies. He tells her family he can cure her. He brings gifts, jewelry, clothing. He tells Elena he loves her. Elena's family accepts the help. They are poor. Tuberculosis treatment costs money they do not have. And here is a man with a hospital job and equipment offering to save their daughter for free. Whether Elena ever returned his feelings is a question the historical record cannot answer cleanly. What it can answer is simpler. She was 20. He was 53. She was dying. He had access to medical equipment and claimed he could save her. On October 25, 1931, Elena Milagro de Hoyos died of tuberculosis at her parents' home. She was 22 years old. Tanzler paid for her funeral. With her family's permission, he built an above-ground mausoleum for her at the Key West Cemetery. He had a key made. He visited every night. For 2 years, he visited the tomb. Every single night. And then, in 1933, he stopped visiting because he no longer needed to. In 1933, Carl Tanzler removed Elena's body from the mausoleum and brought it to his home. He rebuilt her. Piano wire and coat hangers held her skeleton together. He stuffed her torso with rags to keep its shape. He replaced her rotting skin with silk cloth soaked in wax and plaster of Paris. He set glass eyes into her skull. He fashioned a wig from Elena's own hair. Her mother had given it to him after the funeral. He dressed her in stockings, gloves, and jewelry. He soaked her body in perfume and disinfectants to mask the smell. He put her in his bed. For 7 years, Carl Tanzler lived with Elena's body in his house in Key West. He played the organ for her at night. He was seen dancing with her in front of an open window. Key West is a small town. The houses are close together. The windows are open in the heat. people talk. And people did talk. For years, rumors circulated through Key West that the German X-ray technician was living with a dead woman. The rumors reached Elena's family. In October 1940, Elena's sister Florinda went to Tanzler's house. She confronted him. She found her sister's body in his bed. Florinda called the authorities. Tanzler was arrested. And then, Key West did something that tells you more about the town than Tanzler ever could. The authorities removed Elena's body from Tanzler's home. Physicians examined it. They documented the reconstruction: the wire, the wax, the glass eyes, the wig made from her own hair. Then they put her on public display. At the Dean Lopez Funeral Home in Key West, Elena's reconstructed body was placed in a viewing room. Over the next several days, 6,800 people filed past her. 6,800 in a town of 12,000. They came to look at a dead woman who had been taken from her grave, rebuilt with wire and wax, and kept in a man's bed for 7 years. They came to look. The newspapers called it a love story. The public, women especially, the papers noted, expressed sympathy for Tanzler. They called him a romantic, an eccentric, a man so devoted to love that death couldn't stop him. Almost nobody called it what it was. Tanzler was charged with wantonly and maliciously destroying a grave and removing a body without authorization. He appeared at a preliminary hearing on October 9, 1940, at the Monroe County Courthouse. The charge was dropped. The statute of limitations had expired. Carl Tanzler walked free. He gave interviews. He wrote his story for a pulp magazine. He moved to Pasco County, where he built a life-sized wax effigy of Elena and lived with it until he died in 1952. Elena's body was returned to the Key West Cemetery. This time, she was buried in an unmarked grave. No mausoleum, no key. Her family asked for that. They had learned what happens when a grave has a name on it. Elena Milagro de Hoyos was 22 years old when she died. She did not choose Carl Tanzler. She did not choose to be taken from her grave. She did not choose to be rebuilt with wire and wax and displayed under glass for the town's entertainment. The town chose all of that for her. They called it love. They called it devotion. They dropped the charges. They lined up to look. Hundreds walked past a dead woman's body and called the man who stole it a romantic. That is what Florida buries. Not the crime, the name of the person it was done to. I'm Roz Stevens. I write Southern noir fiction set in the same Florida this channel investigates. The companion story for this episode is about obsession that wears the mask of devotion, and a town willing to look away because the story was easier than the truth. You can read it free at rozstevensbooks.com. And if you want to know what happened when Florida turned its prisoners into slaves, sold their labor, worked them to death, and buried the receipts, that's the next episode of Buried Florida. Because every episode begins the same way, with something Florida tried to forget.